Hi there and welcome back. It's Lisa from Critters'n Ink Designs in Ontario, Canada. And today I'm going to share this beautiful card using Nature's Harvest. I'll bring that over. I received this last night from one of my team members. It was part of her monthly swap with me. And I just loved it so much, I thought I need to share this. So today we're going to recreate this card. And thanks, Susan. It's a beautiful card and I just love it. Okay, so we're going to get started. I'm not going to waste any time. I just want to get it done. It's so pretty. Okay, so let's get started. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to take a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to use this large floral. Oh, look at that. I haven't even used it yet. So I'll show you. This is a good teaching opportunity to show you how to put your labels on your rubber stamps. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab my block. And I'm going to peel off the decal for that stamp. So I'm just going to peel it off all intact. Okay, so I'm going to peel that off. And I'm just going to plunk that right down on my block. And then I'm going to take my Take a Pick tool and I'm just going to lift up the paper backing and remove that from the decal. Okay. Next, I'm going to remove the paper from the back of the rubber stamp. And just lay my stamp right down on my table. And I'm going to stand up so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to, let me zoom in a smidgen. So I'm just going to lean over and just make sure that everything lines up perfectly and press. So you can see it's perfectly labeled. And that's so easy to do it that way. I used to struggle with it and I saw, I think it was Nola Designs. I'm sorry, I don't remember what her name is, but it's a demonstrator in New Orleans and she demonstrated how to do this one day and I thought that's brilliant. So I've got it on my block and this is what I need. I'm going to zoom back out. My zoomer is not working here. Here we go. Okay. And I'm going to stamp this design on my basic white using the smoky slate because we're going to do some watercoloring. I guess I neglected to say that earlier. So we're just going to do some watercoloring. So let's get this out of here. I can't believe I haven't used this. I just love it. We had these cornflower kind of daisies that are wedding years ago. Well, we actually had, I forget what you call those daisies. Doreen, do you know what you call those orange daisies? Gerber daisies. Gerber daisies is what we had at our wedding, but they look a little bit like this. So I'm just going to stamp that right in the middle there. And I'm not pressing hard, but I'm going to let it sit there for a minute to let the ink absorb. And the reason I'm using the gray is because I want it to be subtle as opposed to black. And I probably could have used, which one is this? Smoky Slate. I probably could have used basic gray as well, but that's okay. This is still, when it dries, it's going to be a little bit lighter. So let's see, what colors did Susan use? It looks like she used Rich Razzleberry, it looks like. So let's grab Rich Razzleberry. Now they come in a plastic case, but I put them in a stamp case that you can actually buy these stamp cases on Stampin' Up. And Rich Razzleberry, is that what I said? Yeah. You can buy these stamp cases right on the in the Stampin' Up store. So I'm just going to go ahead and color. Maybe she didn't use Rich Razzleberry. Hers is purpler, more purpley, but that's okay. We're using Rich Razzleberry now. So I'm just going to color in like this and just down the sides a little bit. And you'll see with the blender pens how beautifully these blend. You can color. They just color beautifully. They're dual tipped. And I don't know what's in it. It's kind of like a lanolin or something inside of there. But it just picks up the color. And you just spread the color around. Zoom in a smidgen. Isn't that pretty? I just love this. And I don't use my watercolor pencils as much as I should. I did a class, was it last month, and I used the watercolor pencils, and I'm glad that I did, because really I haven't used them in ages and I just love them. So for this flower, I'm just doing along the bottom, and I'm just going to grab the color. Now you'll see the tip of my pen has a bit of, oh, you can't really see, has a bit of color on the end, and that's okay. You just scribble till it's clean, and even though the tip stays stained a little bit, it won't transfer the color, but that's all you do to clean it. There, so let's finish coloring this guy. And then we'll go over to this one. So basically I'm putting a lot of color where the stamps have sort of darker lines, and I'm using that as a guide of where to put the color. And then I'm just tracing around the edge of the petals a little bit. And then the blender pen will pick up that color and move it around. Now, one thing you don't want to do, which I learned kind of the hard way, is if you go over the same area a lot, it will actually pick up your paper because it is liquidish. So, you know, just do as much blending as you need to do, but don't kind of worry it to death, because it will make your paper ball up. And as I say, I learned that one the hard way. Okay. So now I'm going to find my old olive. This has to be one of my all-time favorite colors. So again, I'm just going to go down a little bit in there, down here. And you don't have to be too accurate because you're going to be blending the color. Just go right down the middle, basically. Or down one side so that you have one side that's darker than the other. Just getting a little pink in there. Okay. So in the blender pens, you get a set of 3, which is great. If you're having, you know, a friend over and you're having a coloring day, you can share. You can do this with the water painters as well, but I like the blender pens for this. It doesn't really wet your paper too much. If you were going to do this with the water painters, I would use like watercolor paper, which can withstand the wetness a bit better. There, that looks great. Okay, so next, let's see. I think Susan used early espresso. So let's see, I'll just go in here. Maybe a little bit in here. There. That is so pretty. That's all there is to it. Let's clean my brush a little. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is cut out, did I take that die out already? No. Oh no, there it is I'm going to cut out the flower. Boy, that's on there. There we are. And also I'm going to cut out these two elements just in the basic white. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna cut that out. So I've got my other elements cut out as well. Just pop that out of there. There. So I used this die and this die to create these two elements. And I also, while I was over there, used my subtle embossing folder. Now it is retired, but I'm not retiring mine. I love it and I use it often. So it's a 3D folder. And I just love the texture. Beautiful. I wish they hadn't retired it. I think I'm going to put in the suggestion box that they bring it back because it's one of my favorites. And I don't think right now they have a subtle one, or do they? I don't think so. All right, so let's create the card. It's pretty simple. So the first thing I need, actually, and I forgot to cut this out, is I'm using the thick basic white. And the reason I'm using a thick basic white is because it's thick, first of all, so it'll stand up by itself without having to have a second layer on the inside. So the first thing I'm going to do is on the 8.5 inch side, I'm going to mark it at 4 1/4, and I'm just going to score right down the middle. And then I'm going to rotate it and cut it at 5 1/2 on the 11 inch side. And that's going to give me two, oh, I guess I need a new blade. Let me do that again. 2 card bases. Okay. So we only need one at the moment. And I'm just going to fold this. Where's my bone folder? And this is going to go directly onto my card base. So this is just a piece of basic white that's 4 by 5 1/4. I think I need to zoom out again. Nope, other way. There we are. Okay. So I'm just going to glue that right onto here. Okay, I'm just going to center that right on there. Beautiful. And then these two elements, she just glued them directly to the background. So I'm just going to lay them down the way she had them. Susan is part of my team. She's a hobby demo, so she doesn't do classes or sell products. She joined for the discount because she loves to stamp. So if that's something that interests you, I'm always happy to welcome you to my team. Most of my demonstrators are hobbyists, and it's a great way to buy the products that you love at a 20% discount, so why not? There, so I'm going to just give these a little snippy doodle here because they're just a little bit long for my liking. Little haircut there. And then this one too, I'll just overlap that one a tiny bit. So you just need little dots of glue. You don't need to have tons of glue. It's going to stick. There. Okay, I'll just lay that down. All right, now on this one, I'm going to put some dimensionals and pop it up. And you know me, you never have enough dimensionals. Is that going to fit on there? Maybe I'll just cut this one in half. I have some mini dimensionals somewhere, but not handy. So I'll just pop these there. And this should fit right in here. Perfect. All right. There we are. So beautiful. All right, so now for the sentiment, she used, okay, so for the sentiment, she used some crumb cake and the thinking of you. Oh, okay, so that's a different sentiment, but what we'll use is the thank you. Let's use the thank you. And this one doesn't have a label on it either, so let's throw a label on that guy. So again, you just peel the back off the rubber stamp and take the thank you one off of here and pop it onto a block. And we're going to peel the paper off of this. Like that. There. All right, so I'm going to just put this in front of me. And you might sort of see my hair there, but that's fine. And I'm just going to lay that right over there so it's perfectly lined up. Ta-da! Easy peasy. All right, so Susan used the black Memento for her sentiment, so I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm just using a piece of scrap here. Beauty. My computer keeps timing out on me here. I guess I should plug it in. And the die that I'm going to use is the smaller of the label dies from this set. I need to get these on magnets. I haven't done that yet. So this is the Harvest die set that bundles with the Nature's Harvest stamp set. So give me 1 sec. I'm just going to run over. Actually, I could probably do this on my mini. Let me just grab my mini and we'll do it right here. So I've got my mini stamp and emboss, cut and emboss machine. So I've got my base plate number 1, and I need 2 base plates number 2. So I'm just going to lay this on here. Can you see what I'm doing there? I'm just going to line that up. There we go. Alrighty. So this sentiment can go on dimensionals as well. Beautiful. And she has a little bow made out of the linen thread, and I'm right at the end of my linen thread here, so it's looking a little scary. So you see how curly that is? I can straighten that out just using my bone folder. If I just give it a rub over my bone folder, it straightens it right out. So now it's usable. It's not all squirrely on me. So I'm going to just make a little quick bow. Actually, I might do a double bow. I've gotten kind of addicted to double bows lately. So I'll do a double bow. So I just folded it over. I've got 2 strands, and I'm just going to create a little bow here. Oops, I don't have enough thread. Let me try that again. All right, so I'm just going to make my loop, just a normal bow. Just make sure that you have enough on the piece that's going through so that you're not running out of thread here. So there's my bow. There, cute. Okay. So there's our little bow. So cute, 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 cute. And I need some. All right, so I'm just going to pop that up on a mini glue dot. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a fold because I don't want it huge. And there we are. I'm going to pop that. She has hers right there and it looks nice, so I'm going to put mine right there too. So sweet. And for embellishments, she used the polished dots. And I just thought, what a great choice. They're beautiful. So let's use those. Beautiful. Now, one thing Susan didn't do that I'm going to do is I'm going to put Wink of Stella on my flowers. I just love Wink of Stella. I put it on everything. You know that commercial for the hot sauce? I put that, you know what, on everything? Well, that's me with Wink of Stella. And Wink of Stella will also pick up the color, but that's okay because it's alcohol-based, right? And I just think that star of the show should be the star of the show. There. That just intensifies the color a little bit as well. There. Oh, look at that. So pretty. I'm just going to move my bowl out of the way here a smidgen and get this one. Oh man, that is just stunning. There. Not sure if you can see the shimmer from the Wink of Stella, but I sure can. Beautiful. So there's that card. And then on the envelope, Susan took the redder ink and did the flower from one of the other stamps, which also I've not used yet, and I'm not going to put that on my envelope. But what I could put on my envelope that I already have, let me grab an envelope here, is I could take this flower and just do this part in here in the gray, and I think that that's what I'll do. Find a piece of paper. I'm going to stamp off. I've just got a notepad here. I'm just going to stamp off so that it's very, very subtle. So I'm going to stamp up the flowers. Stamp it off. And then stamp it on my envelope. There, perfect. Oh, I love that. And I'm glad that I stamped it off. I think it would have been a little bit intense maybe if I just left it. But there we have it. I hope you enjoyed this. I loved making this. It's actually probably one of my favorite cards that I've gotten this month so far in my swabs. No offense, ladies, they're all beautiful. But I just loved it. When she dropped it off last night, when she came to class, it was like, whoa, I got to redo this. So thank you, Susan, and thank you, everyone, for spending some time with me and watching. I will list all the products that I've used below in the description, and if there's anything that you'd like to place an order, I'd appreciate it if you'd use my September host code, and which can also be found on my blog page if you don't remember to write it down. Or if you have any questions about joining the team and getting your 20% discount, I'm more than happy to have a little chat with you. Thanks so much again. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you soon.